The sky was high in the sky, and storm clouds stirred on the ancient continent. In a border town called Qingyun City, there lived an ordinary youth named Yan Fei. He is the town's carpenter apprentice, living a quiet and ordinary life. Yet a storm of fate is about to change everything for him. A sudden war engulfs the entire continent, and Qingyun City is reduced to a war-torn land. The enemy army is so powerful and brutal that the town's residents are forced to flee. Yan Fei lost his home and the love of his life. He watched as the village was engulfed in flames, his heart stirring with unquenchable rage. On his way to escape, Yan Fei befriends a mysterious old man. The old man was dressed in plain clothes. His face was wrinkled with age, but he had bright eyes. The old man said that he was a swordsman who had experienced war, but he chose to live in seclusion and no longer involved in the world. The old man could see the anger and longing in Yan Fei's heart, and he decided to teach him the essence of martial arts. Yan Fei accepted the old man's instruction, and he practiced hard in the wilderness, learning swordplay and boxing. Under the old man's tutelage, he gradually realizes the mysteries of martial arts and realizes that true power comes from inner peace and wisdom. And the old man was also teaching him that life and death were the norm in war, and that victory did not equal peace. Time passes, and Yan Fei's martial arts continue to improve. Meanwhile, the war intensifies and the continent is thrown into chaos. One day, Yan Fei learns that the enemy army is planning a devastating attack, targeting none other than Qingyun City. He decided to return to the town and use his strength to defend his home. Qingyun City had become a complete mess, with ruins all over the place and villagers displaced. Swinging his sword, Yan Fei led some brave young men to form a resistance army. They utilized the terrain, set traps, and used their wisdom and courage to fend off the enemy's attack. However, the commander-in-chief of the enemy army was a ferocious general who rode a huge, monstrous bird that was agile and formidable. This monstrous bird was like a black cloud covering the sky, its wings stirring up storms, and its eyes were filled with a ferocious aura. Yan Fei understood that if he did not defeat this monstrous bird, Qingyun City was doomed to destruction. The old man walked to his side and handed him an ancient sword. The sword was engraved with blurred ancient characters. The old man told him that it was a sword that had been passed down for 1,000 years and had witnessed countless destructions and rebirths. In a fierce battle, Yan Fei, with determination, fought to the death against the rider of the strange bird. Swords clashed, sparks flew, and the entire battlefield seemed to be plunged into a raging storm. Yan Fei continuously utilized the martial arts he had learned from the old man and engaged in a thrilling battle with the strange bird rider. At the point of life and death, the sword awnings in Yan Fei's hands lit up as he defeated the monster bird rider with a sweeping move of sword kai. The monstrous bird let out a mournful cry and crashed to the ground, its wings turning into a ball of flames and turning into ashes. The victory bell rang out, the enemy army collapsed, and Qingyun City finally gained peace. However, the cost of war was enormous. Yan Fei stood amidst the ruins, deeply feeling the bitterness of victory. As Qingyun City began to rebuild, the villagers used their strong will to get out of the shadow of the war. Yan Fei became a hero in their hearts, and his deeds were extolled. However, he knew that peace was the true victory, and he decided to set an example by guarding his home and the peace of the continent with his wisdom and courage. This story etched his name into the pages of history and became a generation of legends.